Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're going to be playing Symi. It is, after all, summer season, and I imagine that many of you are planning your holidays or already on holiday given it's August. And Sleuth does deserve a bit of a vacation. He's worked really hard in this few puzzles this particular weekend, and he fancied down a trip to one of the Greek islands. In particular, this one is supposedly a sister of Santorini. Now, I imagine that means it's more of a reference to the rule set, being very similar to one that is related to Santorini, but we're going to take a look at that in a second. Now, you can see that Sleuth here is not shaving, which I can entirely understand and frankly get behind when it comes to vacations. But, the way that he's kept that mustache looks like it's far more effort than just shaving. I mean, if you're going to put in that much effort, just keep going. Anyhow, shall we just put all of that aside, take a look at today's puzzle and rule sets? Let's do that now. So, Symi by noon, very apt. I'm imagining it's quite sunny there. Well, not right now, given when I'm recording. It's 8:30 p.m., but it will generally be quite sunny there. Rules-wise, we've got standard Sudoku rules apply, standard Sudoku and variant rules. I'm familiar with most of the variants, not the counting circles. I don't think I've seen these before. So, normal Sudoku rules apply. Place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. I think it's my mouse that skips. It's not just me struggling to select. Let me do something quickly, see if that's any better. Right, what else do we have? We've got the counting circles. So a digit in a large circle indicates exactly how many circles contain that digit. Okay, we have seen this before. So how am I going to demonstrate this? Let's see. So if this cell is 2, what it's saying is that all the remaining circles, only one more of them can be a 2. And that's it. It's counting the number of 2s in all of these circles, clearly not in the same box, row, etc. That's what it means. Killer cages, so if that cell is a 2, this would have to be a 7 to make sure that these 2 cells add up to 9, these 2 cells add up to 14 and 10, etc. Digits in cages do not repeat, and sum to the number in the cage's top left corner. Last but not least, we've got cells connected by a white dot must contain consecutive digits, and not all dots are necessarily given. So if this cell here is a 2, this would have to be 1 or 3 so that they are indeed consecutive. The absence of a negative constraint means I can legitimately put a 3 in here. No white dot between them, not a problem. Negative constraints do not apply. That's all the rules we have for today. So if you fancy a trip down to Symi alongside Sleuth, and for you to enjoy this puzzle, link will be in the description down below as usual. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. So past experience with these is knowing the number of circles is quite helpful. So this is 6 circles so far, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So what does that mean? I'm not sure it really means a lot, if I'm honest. I could legitimately put in a whole bunch of different digits. Let me think about something. So 14 cage. So let's think about the cells where the 14 cage ones, because we know that they are from 5, 6, 8, or 9. So obviously 14 and 2 cells, 2 options, which is 5, 9 and 6, 8. These are the only 2 options are available. And obviously to get to 14, well, that's the 2 pairs. Now it does mean that there's at least, well, it doesn't necessarily mean that. It does mean that these 3 cells have relatively high digits. I'm also thinking the 13, it's still relatively large. but there is one of three ways of doing this. So 6, 7, 5, 8, 4, and 9. So it is starting to get a bit ridiculous in terms of pencil marks, but I'm just still trying to see what is it all saying. So 4, 9, 5, 8, and 6, 7. It's basically anything other than 1, 2, 3. That's way too big. Maybe like I've been thinking about the large cells, I should be thinking about the small ones as well. So a 10 cage is always a combination of a low digit and a high digit. Not quite the same statement with a 9 cage, but if you exclude the 5 for a second, there will be at least one low digit, maybe two low digits. No, one low, one high. So there's two low digits. The 11 cage, technically there will be three. I can avoid low digits entirely here with 5 and 6. But I'm not sure that's going to be right. I mean, I could do something like 2, 7. Sorry, the thought that just occurred to me is potentially these share the same low digit, which would be a 3, let's say. The other option is that both of these are 2, in which case one of them is going to be an 8 and one of them is going to be a 7. Now, we said we have, what was it again, 15 circles? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I can't have 7 and 8. Interesting. Which means I can't have a double 2 this way at least. Right. So these digits have to be relatively middle. The problem with 8 and 7 is they're quite high digits. And essentially, that's saying that's 7 lots of 7, 8 lots of 7, and then the 2s, I'm in trouble. Now I'm already I need 17 digits in 15 circles, which is just not going to happen. And in general, I'm just thinking that these have to be, now just think about this. So we need, I almost want to try and, document this like as if it's a mathematical equation. So we need a group of digits, no more than 5. And I know that they're no more than 5 because 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, that already gets me to 15. So I need a group of digits that add up to 15. But also that their composites add up to, ooh, this works. How am I going to show this? So can I write in X? So I have X, Y, let's say Z. I mean, we did say there's up to 5 of them. So maybe it's A, B, C, D, and E. So we've got these many cells. These many digits. And each of them is multiplied by a number to show us the quantity of that digit. Now, the sum of these digits is 15. And then the multiple, as in the product sum of these, is going to be essentially the total of these. So that's 25. Am I going to do this? Yeah, I am. So 13 and 13 is 26, plus 14 is 40. I think I can do this one more time. Yep, 13 and 13 and 14. So that's another 40. That's 80. 80 and 25, that's 105. Did I say 25? 80 and 25? Yeah, 105. Then we have another 25, 11 and 14. So it's 130, 140, 149. So the product sum of these, or actually I should say the square sum, because essentially the product is always the exact same digit. So 149 is very specific, like really specific. And I'm kind of wondering if I need to almost like maximize it. So let's think about nines, for example. Can I even have nine nines? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and 10. Okay, so I can have 9 nines if I really wanted to. Not a lot more than that, though. Right, so that would give me, essentially, if I have a 9, that would have 81. 81. I still need to have like quite a bit more to get to 149. Now, the thing is, the next one along, which is because I can't have something that would add up to more than 15. So 7 and 8 doesn't work. The next one along is 6, which is 36. And the sum of these two doesn't actually get me to 149, does it? It doesn't. So we have like a really strange combo here when you're trying to maximize the product sum whilst minimizing the sum to get near 149. I know that some of you guys are mathematicians, but I imagine this is the kind of puzzle that is just like made for you. So let's think about the 14 cage, because essentially we know that there is a combo of 5, 6, 8, 9. And there's a very high chance. How many 14 cages do we have? I think it's just a 3. Yes, it is just a 3. Chances are, whichever one of these it is, 5, 9, 6, 8, it's going to appear in here consistently because we can't afford that much more combinations. And you see, this is really strict. 9 and 5 is adding up to 14. 6 and 8 is adding up to 14. So I only have really space for one more digit, which is the 1. So I have a 1 plus. No, but how am I going to make the 9 cage work? This is legitimately very strange. Oh yeah, of course, because these are not always circled. Come on, Sleuth, wakey wakey. So I don't have to have both digits. I could hide, essentially, let's say these are all the 6s, and then I could hide the 8s in the one that's not circled. Yes, I almost certainly have to do that, otherwise I've just broken it, so the 1 doesn't have to be in here. Regardless, this is quite interesting in the sense that, yeah, this is the mistake I made. The 149 includes sums or product sums, whatever it is, included. It assumed that I'm adding all of these digits and they're not part of the circle. Oh. So frankly, 9 could have potentially worked. I imagine if somebody is familiar with this, they are well on their way. I'm 10 minutes in and I haven't written a single digit. Doesn't feel right for a Monday morning puzzle, by the way. It is a 1-star difficulty rating, even if I'm not demonstrating that. Yeah, and I think I'm making a mistake focusing on the 14 because the circles are not in both cells. Same for 12. So really 11, 10 and 9 is almost where I want to start. And the thing is, that requires at least 4 different digits. Let me show what I'm thinking here. So imagine that this is 6, 6, 6, and I tuck in the 6 in a lot of them. Well, I still need a 4 in here, a 3 in there, and a 5 in here. So like I still need 4 different digits to get to the 10. Okay, I think this is quite key actually now. 4 different digits. Remember, the maximum number of digits I could have is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Because they add up to 15. But the 10 needs one more digit that is above 5. So does the 11 for that matter. So chances are 6 is indeed one of them. And then because it's 6, it is in fact 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I think that is already, whatever that is almost certainly, it's already over 15, isn't it? 7, 12, 18. How am I making this work? Am I just not thinking about this correctly? There's 15 circles. I need a high digit to satisfy the 10 and the 11. 6 is the lowest high digit. The second I put 6 in any of these, well, of course, it will be followed with 5 and 4. I can, of course, have 4 and 5 in here. So I could do 4, 5, 6. And then I have different combos of 5s and 6s, hiding the 8s, 9s, and whatever it may be. Yeah, this is going to work, I think, 4, 5, 6. I don't see how it's going to work with anything else. 4, 6, 5, 6, 4, 5. And then I need 2 more 4s, which clearly are not going to be in the 14. Yeah, this is going to work now. And I don't think any other combo would. 5 and 6 are in here. So this is going to have to be 4, 9. That's our first digit potentially. And that 9 is looking at that 13. So this is not 4, 9. This is either 5, 8 or 6, 7. And this is not 5 or 4. It is 6 and 7. That gives me 5 and 6. That was never going to be 6. It's either 4 or 5. And it's not 4, looking across. It is 5. 5 with a 7. That's not 6, 7. But it could be 4 or 5 with 8 or 9. This is not 4 or 6. That has to be a 5 with an 8. 14 never included a 4. So this is 5 or 6 with 8 or 9, and it's not 9, it's an 8. That's 8 and 6. That 6 gave me 4 and 6. This 13 can only be a 4 from 4, 5, and 6. So that's 4, that's 9. These two cells, this cell in particular, I mean, it could still be, it's not 4, but it could be 5 or 6, isn't it? 5 and 6 with 8 or 9. And how many 4s have we got? 1, 2, 3, and 4. That can't be another 4. That has to be 5 with a 9. how many fives? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're probably missing a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's got to be 5. That's got to be 6. That's 6. That's 8. That's 6. That's 8. What a fantastic break-in. It deserved a, let's be fair, it deserved a smoother solve than what I've shown so far, but like, what a fantastic break-in. Right, this cell. So in here, I need at least one even digit, if not two. I'm not sure I can make two. I mean, if it's two, it'll be 4 and 2 and 3, just because the 6 and 8 on here, 4 is kind of eliminated from all of these cells. So that's one option. The other option is this is the even digit and is surrounded by 1 and 3. So that's like a full pencil mark in here. Obviously the trick, I say trick, with what Kropki does is that there always has to be one odd and one even. Otherwise it's not going to work. The fact that these are 3 different digits is either 2 odds and an even in the middle, or 2 evens and an odd in the middle. Here is an example. 4, 6, and 8. This can only have a 2 with 1 or 3 as the even digit. In here, I've got 5, 7, and 9 all looking at it. So the odd digits are 1 or 3. The even digits, however, so 1, 3, and I guess it would be 2 or 4. That's not 4. What about this one? Yeah, 6 and 8, 6 and 8, and 4 can all see both of these. So this is another 1, 2, 3 with a definite 2. This one, we know it's not 5 or 9. I could do technically 6, 7. It'd be nice if I can resolve it. There you go. 4 and 5. So there's no 4 and no 8. So my options are a 2 or a 6. 2 would have to be in here with 1 or 3. That's one option. 6 cannot be joined with a 5, so it'd have to be joined with a 7, and both are options. Not 4, not 6. Could be 8. Yeah. And presumably could be 2 again. Am I missing some other trick? I don't think I am. How about some Sudoku, Sleuth? 9. Let's do some Sudokus. 8. 8. 8. You know, every time it's almost like a revelation to me. Oh yeah, there is Sudoku. And you just feel like a complete numpty. Roughly how I just broke it. Oh, that's an 8. That's why. Because that's the only way to add up to 13. Excuse me. And then 8 is in one of these two cells. I'm going to just double check if I've got any other bad arithmetics. No, I'm good to go. Right. So no 8s, no 4s, no 6. This is indeed 2, 1, 3 with a definite 2. Doesn't actually give me anything. 8s, you can see, has to be in here. That's an 8. That's not an 8. That's an 8. So that's 8's done. 9s, still plenty of spaces for 9. 6 maybe. 6 is one of these two. 6 is in here, removing the 6, 7 option. So that gives me another 2. And 6 and 6, that's 6, that's 6, that's all the 6's done. Right, 4s. That's still a 4. 4 has to be in one of these two cells, so that's 4, that's 3. That's not 3. Any more 4s? Probably. 4s is one of these two. I mean, it's clearly like one of these two, so that's not a 4. And one of these 4s with one of these as 4s. Okay. What are the other ones that we have? We finished 8s, we finished 6s, 4s were nearly done. So I think 9s we stopped looking at. 7s, not very useful. 5s surely. Yeah, that's another 5. 5 has to be one of these. That's a 5, which means that's a 4. That's a 4. Right. 5's in one of these two cells. And in here, because of this 5. And that looks like 5's done. 9 of them. Yes, it is. What are the other digits? We've done 4, 5, 6, which was the initial placement. So really, I may be just back to more Sudoku in a second. 1, 2, 3, triple. That's a 7. That's a 7. Just Sudoku. There's another 1, 2, 3, and a 7. 7 is not here. That's a 7. 7 is one of these two cells. Not really. You can see 7 is neither of these two. So that's 7, and therefore that's 7. 7's not here or here. That's 7. That's not 7, that's 7. I think suddenly we've got 9 of them. Yep. These two, there's another 1 or 3. It's not a 3. That's 3. 1 and 9, not resolved. These two cells, they are 1 and something. 1 and 9 again. And this has to be a 2. That's not a 2, that's 1. That's 2. This is a known digit. 9. Then 1, 2, or 3. Well, not 2, excuse me. 1 or 3. There's a 2 in here, which means it's only there. And this is 1 or 3. How is this not resolved? I'm not paying attention to something. 9, yeah, 1, 9, 3, 1, not 1, that's a 2, 3 pair. 1 is in here with a 9, again with the 1 9s. This is not 2, 3, that's a 1, that's a 2, that's a 9, that's a 1. That's not a 1, that's a 2, 3 pair in column 1. That means this is a 9. This cell is known. 3. And then 1 and 2 it looks like. Looks like an well, I mean, that can't be 2 because it's 2, 3 pair. That has to be 1, that has to be 2. This has to be 1. 4, of course. 3, 2. 1, 2, 3, is it? Yep, 3, 2. That gave me 9. That gave me 1. 3 and 9. Surely the 2, 3, yeah, they are resolved. 2 and 3. And if I've not made any mistakes, 3 for the finish. I am going to stick with this for Monday morning because it's a bit of thinking to break in. Don't go down the trippy maths of thinking that you need to add up to 149 inside the circles. You don't. So aside from that misstep early on, I think that was a reasonably good solve. I'd love to revisit these types of rules again in the future. We played with them on the edges on this channel, but I mean, they really do play wonderfully. So hope that you guys enjoyed the puzzle and the video. See you back for the next one. Bye-bye for now.